other than all the paracord I wasted. I still have, still tied there. Sorry guys, if I realized that was still tied, I would have got that before I started the camera. Okay. What, like almost 10 feet there-ish? And that's with a ridge line still tied on the back that shouldn't even be there. It shouldn't. Okay, well, that ought to hold that, possibly. Okay, something else I'm going to do, which I probably should have done before I hammered in that stake. Because this bends so easily, I'm going to lift it a little higher. See what that does. I don't know if you guys can see me or not. Not really, no. Alright, so lifting up that pole on this side actually worked out pretty good. Oh. Really could use another ridge pole here. I don't know. I know how I definitely know how I'd set it up the next time. And that's a good thing. But, oh boy, oh boy. What time is it now? Oh, 6 minutes after 2. We had about 4.5 hours of sunlight. And I still don't have enough wood to get me through the night. And I don't mind saying, I'm actually kind of like, like need a nap, Oh. I'm gonna see if I can find another ridge pole. Oh boy, oh boy. This really accentuates the point that a survival situation is not fun. really ain't. Not even a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of having fun. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I'm actually kind of worn out. I need to get out and do this kind of stuff more often. And, like, I lost a lot of weight. I was doing this kind of stuff all the time. And I was riding my bike. I was just doing all kinds of stuff. And then, I don't know, it just... Something just, I don't know, kind of clicked one day and I got lazy. And I've just been lazy. Like, way too much, way too long. I gotta get out. I gotta do more of this stuff. I gotta, you know... Like, all the weight that I lost, I put back on. I pretty much, well, the majority of it. I might not quite be up to what I was. But, I don't know. Lesson learned. Oh. Now, also, speaking of, you know, lesson learned and all that, there are suitable ridge poles. Not quite straight that I'm, you know, hoping to find, you know, kind of whatever, but there's the trees here and the trees where I'm originally from, just totally different species. Shall we say, like, the stupidity of the mistakes that I've made today is why I come out and do this. You know, it's all fine and great for me to say, hey, look at what a fine job I've done at putting together this, you know, this bag that that I think is just absolutely great. Oh. And for the most part, it's not that bad. It really isn't. It could use some upgrades. I'll give you that. But I'm trying to fit everything that I need, as much as I can, into this. Okay? That, I mean, it holds a fair bit, but it doesn't hold, you know, doesn't hold a lot. When you're talking about, you know, this kind of thing. Oh. Jeez. If I had to put that together properly, the first time, yeah, it would have worked out. It really would have worked out, like, way better. Way better. Another bonus that I've just sort of recently kind of discovered and thought, oh, that's great. The camera that I'm using now is not the camera. It's not the camera that I've been using all day. It seems to use less battery power, which definitely a bonus. the mistake that I made, it seems, is sort of like thinking about too many things at once, doing too many things at once, which like definitely did not work out for me. What I was doing, I was trying to get all of my building material all at the same time. These little ridge poles don't have to be weight bearing, and I'm looking for these, you know, great big weight bearing logs that I didn't need. So definitely not a mistake that I'll make twice. That's for sure. So instead of saying I need to gather up all of my building material, what I should have done is I should have said I need to make a tripod. And I should have gathered up my stuff and done that. And then, okay, I need to make another tripod. And done that. And then I could have said, okay, I've got all that done. Now I need to get my bed poles. And they need to be load bearing too. And I should have done that. And then I should have looked at the structure and said, okay, I need some ridge poles to tie things down to so that the wind doesn't rip everything apart and destroy my equipment such as it is. And they don't have to be great big load bearing, you know, huge logs. They just need to be long and somewhat straight. I should have divided up that whole task list. Something else that I should have done probably is use this camera instead of the other one, because it doesn't go through the batteries the way the other one does. You know, I mean, the cold still does, you know, kind of play havoc on battery life, but this camera's doing so much better. I only recently put that camera into the camera bag. I bought it a while ago, and it was, you know, for the idea that, you know, it was a really, really good price. I can't remember, I think they were asking, I don't know, like maybe 20 bucks, 25 bucks. It was a really good price. It's got less of a megapixel thing than the camera that I use, which is probably why it doesn't use the battery power as much. But it's got a light on it. And that's why I put it in. I figure, well, at night I can use this one, and at, you know, daytime I can use the other one. I get the better quality or whatever. But I don't know. There must be something wrong with it, or I don't remember it eating batteries like that before, though. So maybe it is a cold. I don't know. Okay, this battery's got 5 minutes left on it. So that now covers me. It could be tightened down on the other side a little bit more maybe, but, you know, not too bad. Inside. Backside pretty much goes straight to the ground. I could batten down the center a little bit more, which I think I might. Cut another peg. And around to this side. Now, my idea was that if I could find some good pine boughs, I would maybe cover up the sides a little bit to cut down on the wind. But can I? Yeah, I should be able to batten that down a bit more. All right. So the river, all right, we're now, that's the west. North and around to the east, and you know, the river. I don't see like any spruce. There is some cedar, but that is about halfway back from that hour and a bit walk that I took. So that'd be a long, long trip. And if I leave my campsite for too long, you never know who's going to come along and, you know, make off with my stuff. So I don't want to have to carry it all back. But yeah, there's no evergreen around here at all. None. But 2 minutes. Yeah, I gotta change batteries. Put this one on to charge. I know I shouldn't, but I need a break. Oh man. So it's almost 3 o'clock. I got a fair bit of firewood, but I don't know if I have enough for the night. Holy jumpins'. Am I ever... part of the... come loose. Oh... I'm beat. I've been... Okay, so I woke up at around, I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was ready to go by 6 because I forgot that, you know, it's winter time and daylight savings time has already started and, you know, all that good stuff. And there was no sun. There was really even like no sign of there being sun. So I went out and had coffee with my buddy, who was also awake. Told him what I was doing, and his first question was, "Are you nuts?" Because it was pretty windy. It was pretty cold, and I mean, it's still windy, but it's not as cold as it was at like 6 o'clock in the morning. But dropped him off, grabbed my stuff, hit the road. I was where I was going to park for the night at just a little before 8 o'clock. Did sort of my... Jeez, I don't know if you guys can hear that. My stomach's just growling. Yeah, did my sort of little pre-video, you know, kind of thing about, you know, what I was doing and what I was bringing. And then started walking in, and it was just a little before 8 o'clock. So, been up since 3 a.m. Been kind of, you know, on the go since 8. And it's now almost 3. And I don't know, something tells me that if I don't get moving, I'm going to be cold come 4 or 5 o'clock. But, I need a break right now. I don't know how much I have left in me right now. Whew. I do this kind of stuff like with friends, and it's, you know, sort of shared labor, you know. I'll gather up rocks, I'll gather up firewood, I'll put the tents up, you know, things like that. Oh. But we're still having fun. And I gotta get up. This is bothering me. I gotta get up. I gotta fix that now. Oh. Okay. So I got this pile here. And that is like between my knee and my hip, like halfway. I'm 6 feet tall, so that's like 2.5, 3 feet of just all the dead stuff that I kind of, you know, pulled out. And there's like this great big stump here, like great big huge stump that'll burn for a while. Underneath my shelter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like 20 3 to 4 foot long kind of logs, little, can't really call them logs, but I got some there. And then I have the top cuttings of like all the green wood from the live trees I cut down for my shelter. So that's not going to waste. And yeah, it's green, but once I get a decent fire established, that won't matter. So I'll just toss it on, and that'll sort of help to at least build a coal base. Now that, by no means, is enough wood. And I think I just saw beaver. Okay, so yeah, by no means is that enough wood. But I need to take a break. I need to sort of chill out for a bit. I really would like to light a fire. My boots are wet, my feet are kind of wet, my socks. That's not good. But if I light a fire now, then I need that many more hours of firewood to be gathered up, which would be 3.5 more hours of firewood to be gathered up. And well, right now I'm having sort of an issue where, like, I'm kind of beat. I'm feeling kind of, I don't know, like I need to chill for a while. So, lighting a fire at this point would be counterproductive because I don't really need it for heat right now. But oh, jeez. I don't know what to say. Oh. You know what? There. All right. Sport beans. These are basically like, they're like an energy drink, but they're in jelly bean form. So now that I'm now that I'm just so beat that I just don't know how much more I can do, I'm gonna eat these things. And I'm not, where'd that? I'm not tired. There it is. Oh. by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not tired. I'm worn out. My body is fatigued. So we'll see what these do. Okay, so what do we got? Lemon lime and oh, they're all just lemon lime. Oh, they're frozen. Oh, they're good. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, those are so good. But they're frozen. So I'll put them in my pocket for a little bit. Very tangy. So 25 grams of carbs. 80 milligrams of sodium. Holy jumpins, 10% daily requirement of vitamin C. One package, which is 28 grams, has 100 calories. Energize with one pack 30 minutes before activity. Use additional beans as needed. During activity to sustain energy level, replenish with one pack after activity. Always consume with water. Okay. We'll see. But for the now, I'm gonna turn the camera off and I'm gonna relax for a while. So I had enough of that way too bendy pole, so I went and I found another one and sort of took that section apart, replaced it. Much better. So much better. I also got a fair bit more firewood. Almost out of water. I'm gonna have a little heartfelt moment here, I think. Collecting firewood and pushing over dead stumps and whatnot, it got me thinking back when I was just a little kid. I don't even know how old I was, probably like 4 or 5, maybe a little older. My uncle used to like going down around the woods in Gravenhurst, where I'm from, around the Hawk Rock River. Why they called it that, I don't know. But he just loved tromping around in the bush down at the Hawk Rock River. And I think, like, he's not even that much older than I am, to be honest. Like, I think he's like 10 or 12 years older than I am. So when I was born, he was still kind of a kid. And when I was, like a kid, he was still very kid-like. And I think that's maybe where my love of being in the bush came from, was from him. And he used to push over dead trees. He'd walk along and he'd push over the dead trees, and as like a 5-6-year-old, whatever, I was just fascinated. And for years I called him my Uncle Muscles. And I mean, I still see him a fair bit. Obviously he's my uncle, but not as much as I would like to. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to impress a 5-year-old, eh, Uncle Muscles? Oh, jeez. And yeah, it just, it came into my head as I was pushing over a stump a couple of minutes ago. So, And I mean, my family doesn't really watch my videos really all that often, but I mean, in the event, you know, that my Uncle Muscles is watching this, you know, like, thumbs up, buddy. Okay, so my shelter is a little more solid now. It's all back up. I've got a fair bit more firewood, maybe even enough to get me through the night. It is 3 minutes to 4 p.m. I got 2.5 hours of daylight left. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it exactly, but unless I just sporadically decide that I want more firewood, I think I have all I'm going to get right now. But there's something else that I want to show you in my my Get Lost bag. So I got my coat spread out. I got my pillowcase. Just, you never know. Do something or other. Or at least just I'm not sleeping on the plastic kind of thing. I forgot I've got my shemagh too. So put that up at my head. And if I need to, when I'm sleeping, if I start to get cold, I can just sort of put it over my head and maybe, because I have the SOL emergency bivvy. And with the way some of this SOL stuff has performed so far, it's iffy. It's pretty iffy. But whether I want to or not, it's starting to get cold. I'm going to have to light a fire soon. And it's not just starting to get cold. It's also, you know, like my reduced activity. Not running around hacking and sawing. Or whatever. So, I guess that's the open end. I'll set all this up now, you know, just in case, because it's getting cold. It's getting really cold. All right. This is the side that I crawl into. Yeah. So this is going to be interesting getting in and out of. I'll tell you that much for nothing. But we'll get her done. SOL emergency bivvy with my coat underneath me. Oh, great. Hopefully that holds for the night. Didn't quite get all the pokies off. That's not good. But, what are you going to do? That's home for the night. That's my bed. That's what I got. So now I am fully set up and ready for just whenever. But I think it's about time I start getting the fire lit and getting a coal bed established, because this is, it's getting a little bit too chilly. All right. Well, the ground is wet, cold, and not very good for starting a fire. So we're going to make a base out of dry wood And it is green wood too, so it's going to take a while for that to burn down. Now, we got this goodie bag here, hand sanitizer. That's some fire lighter. Those are the good ones. We got that. We got fishing kit, the mirror. We got a ferro rod. The flashlight, the howler whistle, and the compass. Now, just throw that all in there. I might need the hand sanitizer. It is the alcohol one. We're going to use that, probably that. Put that up on my bed. Now I've made a decision. These strikers never really... Where is... There it is. Oh. Can we all see how that works? Well, that's... I've made a decision all by myself. I'm not going to use this ferro rod. Alright, not going to do it. So that goes into the bag. Bag that goes in the top pocket of my Get Lost bag. Why am I not going to use the ferro rod? Of course the wind's going to pick up. I want to try some of this stuff. I don't know if it's any good or not. I got it from a dollar store. I've never used it. Ooh. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to put the whole thing there. Then we'll get one of these really good quick tinder, quick light, whatever they're called. These things are great. They work so well. One's probably all I need. There, we'll fluff that up. Now, why am I not going to use the ferro rod? Well, so many of my videos this summer did not work out, which pretty much all of them for various reasons. So, a buddy of mine did not get to see me enjoying some of the things that he gifted me. And one of those would be one of two ferro rods that he made for me. That he got the ferro rod, he harvested the fat wood, he dried it, he drilled it, he stuck it in, glued it, you know, kind of whatever. I've used the other one, bud, but this is the one with the big fat wood. First firelight with the ferro rod that Frank gave me. This particular one. So I'll get some of this black stuff off. You know, I had my reservations about this dollar store stuff. Oh. Nope, that dollar store stuff is garbage. Oh. Whew. You know, I thought I had more of the little stuff on top. Apparently I didn't. There's some there. I have to say that was actually remarkably easy compared to what it could have been, because we just had a whole bunch of rain, then snow, and you know, things are still pretty wet. I mean, midwinter, you know, it's not so bad because a lot of stuff, it's kind of freeze dried, but that was okay. That wasn't bad at all. Now, for anybody wondering what I have the hand sanitizer out for, you can, smoke. You can get the alcohol-free stuff, or you can get the old school alcohol stuff. And I don't know if it's gonna, let's just dribble a little around, and just like gasoline, woom! And I mean, I know the fire was already kind of going and established before, you know, I put it on there, but I mean, it is as flammable as gasoline. So when you're putting hand sanitizer into your kit, I definitely recommend the stuff with alcohol, because it definitely helps with fire lighting, for sure. coming off of that little coal fire is just definitely nice. All right. Now, when building a fire, a lot of people might not know this. A lot of people don't seem to know this. When the flames come up above your existing fuel, then it's okay to add more fuel. Then you just sit for a minute, let it do what it's going to do. The flames are starting to come up and over the level of the fuel that I have. We're going to give it a little bit more than that, but see, they're really coming up now, so you can give it a little more. And as you give it more and more fuel, it's okay to graduate into thicker pieces. Every once in a while, you take some more of the smaller stuff, toss it on there, on top of the thicker pieces. That will entice the flames up a little further, and that will allow you to build your fire a little bit faster. The whole idea is to keep it going, to keep it established, and then eventually you work your way up to big thick logs like that, and then bigger, if you have bigger. I don't have any bigger than that because I have a small saw. This is kind of a minimalist kit, so no big saws, axes, anything like that. So more geese flying in. I don't know about you guys, for anyone who's watching this, but there's something about a fire that just, it's just blowing right at me and it's burning me. Oh, jeez. Okay. There's something about a fire, a nice campfire, that it's relaxing, it's soothing, it's warming, which is why I'm letting the camera run as long as it is. I know it's got a different effect when you're watching it on the TV, but this is one of the better parts of coming into the woods and doing stuff like this, is after all the work is done you can just sit down, enjoy a nice campfire, get that warmth going into you. And just relax. Just be nice and at peace. Oh, I didn't realize that before. That's really punky. We'll just throw that to the side. Fire will dry it out eventually I'd like to fill this entire fire pit. So that when I'm sleeping, it'll get a lot of my body. Isn't that nice? Right about now, it'd be nice if you guys were here with me. Just I don't know, sitting in the camp chair, talking about camp stories, hanging out and chilling out, being nice and warm. Catch up with you guys in a bit. All of the fuel that I have collected to establish a fire is in the fire pit. I think I was a little too overzealous in feeding the fire because the flames are 5 to 6 feet high. When the wind blows like towards the shelter, it actually touches the shelter at this point. I'm a little bit nervous. But I'm not cold. I am not cold anymore. Holy jumpers, am I not cold. Whew. Yeah, I definitely should have been a little more careful there. Holy jumpins. But I honestly, I was getting really cold. My feet are wet. I gotta dry my socks. And I don't know, it's just something about a campfire. So, you know, I'm feeding it. I'm not even really thinking. I'm just feeding it. Next thing you know, I'm all out of my establishment fuel. And the flames are 5-6 feet up. And right now I'm about, I don't know, 10 feet, 12 feet away from the fire. I could feel the heat. Oh, so nice. Okay, we're down to 4 to 5 foot flames now, so we're looking good. I don't think I'm going to burn down my shelter. Oh. So nice. Just so nice. And now, honestly, some softwood would have been kind of nice. It would have. Softwood burns up fast, but it's hot. Really hot. Hardwood doesn't necessarily burn as hot, but it'll burn a long time. So when I'm camping, what I like to do is I like to have a nice big pile of hardwood and then sort of a big pile of softwood, so that whenever you're feeding the fire, you toss in 1 or 2 pieces of softwood and then a couple of pieces of hardwood, and you're good for hours, because the softwood starts to burn, it really pumps out the heat, warms you right back up, and it gets the hardwood burning, you know, nice and well, fully established, and you know, you wake up like 3 hours, 2-3 hours later, and you kind of do that again. And it's just, it's nice to have that option. But there's no softwood here, like, anywhere. Like, other than if I were to go, you know, like a half hour to a 40-minute walk for cedar, and then carry all that back here, and hope that nobody stumbles across my campsite and makes off with my stuff. And, well, now that I have a fire going, I'm not going far away from the campsite at all anyway. I have to keep an eye on this and, you know, manage that. So, all in all, we're here for the night. Oh. And I'm happy to be here. I really am. Oh. Wow, look at this already. That didn't take long to burn down, to be honest. This is just establishing fuel, though. This isn't real fuel. Well, the establishing fuel is pretty much spent up. But this is all the live stuff that wouldn't burn until you had an established fire. So we'll just use that to help establish a coal bed.